Another day, another Chicago Bulls set of injury news. This time, Jalen Smith and Coby White are officially listed as out for tonight's game, and Dosunmu will get the start in place of Coby White. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, have some fun as only we can do. But first, we got to play that intro, and the new intro at that.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and look at this content for today. And this is just a real quick update. We're going to get out of here fairly quickly because we got to do the pregame show in a little while. Coby White and Jalen Smith are officially out of tonight, the Bulls' second preseason game, which, is not too surprised, especially with Coby White suffering that groin injury. That can be really kind of tricky. And so I'm sure the Bulls want to allow that the most time possible to go ahead and heal. That way it's not even a question by the start of this the season if it's going to be anything that lingers on. Jalen Smith is going to be missing today with knee soreness, and he's going to be sitting out today, which could mean that we get an extended look at Dosunmu when it comes down to it as well. Io, who was really a big energy changer for the Chicago Bulls in the Bulls' first preseason game. This is turning to get an extended look at him. May mean some Kenny Lofton Jr., some Adama Sanogo as well in place of Jalen Smith. Not mad at any of that. So when it all comes down to it, man, I love where we are right now, man. And I think ultimately, it's preseason. It does not matter, right? And there's no point of risking any injury. And that's probably what the Bulls are doing here, is being very precautious when it comes down to those guys, is that you don't want to risk it. A groin injury can be tricky. Knee soreness. I'm sure if this was a regular season game, Jalen Smith would have been able to play. But at this point, why? You got a lot of people you want to take a look at on this roster. This is going to open up some minutes naturally for you to take a look at how they fit in with your group, who you're going to keep on and things like that. So I'm not too mad at it. The thing to watch here, though, is that do Dosunmu and Josh Giddey have a little bit more natural chemistry than maybe Coby White and Josh Giddey had in that first game as well? Because I told you guys how Io fits in with Giddey, fits in with Levine, fits in with Coby, and the times that you can use him with all those different lineups, it makes sense there. So not too mad at that when it comes down to it. I'm glad that the Bulls are being precautious. This is where you can be precautious with your or cautious with your players and stuff. And so it just makes sense. It's a smart thing to do. I'm not too mad at it when it comes down to it, man. And we'll just see what happens when it gets to that. But overall, Io's going to start, which could mean more minutes for Dalen Terry, more minutes for Julian Phillips, more for THT and Ernolot Batum, the guys trying to make the roster as well. Hopefully we still see no ball-headed Ho Javon Carter. We don't want to see it when it comes down to that. Kenny Lofton Jr. could definitely be a possibility there. I do think you could see some Kenny Lofton Jr. You didn't see any of him in the last one, so I do think that's a possibility as well when it comes down to it. So just look out. Everybody is on. Everybody's a possibility to play. So, that's what it comes down to, man. But yeah, hopefully y'all like that we got new outro music too. I decided to separate the intro from the outro music. So, hey, first we're going to take a break. I'm going to play the new intro again just because I'm happy for it. We're going to keep talking a little bit.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
Yes. That is an exclusive CEO Haize joint, by the way, as well. So, listen, everything got to be updated around this mug. We've had the same intro music literally for 3 years. I felt like it was time to go ahead and mix some things up. And so at this point, I missed the old intro music. It's going to take a while for me to get used to it as well. But it is what it is when it comes down to it, man. Run versus Edie. Hey, the Zach Edey could. It's going to be interesting to see Vooch versus Edey for sure. That's going to be interesting to see how that ends up working out. But all right, y'all. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes for the live pregame show. So make sure you guys stay in tune with that one, man. I love you guys. Go Bulls. Wanted to bring this update. We'll talk about it a little bit more in depth on the pregame show. So make sure you guys stay in tune with us for that. Let's go ahead and play the new outro music as well, because we got new outro music too. I see you guys in 20 minutes. Peace, y'all.
presentation of the Break Media.